guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are carrying on with Miss Petula Perpetual-Motion. So what's just happened is that she's been called into the headmistress office, and now the headmistress is telling her that all the things she's done wrong, and she is like painting the walls in art class and throwing trifle on the teachers because she's really clumsy and she bounces and jumps and moves a lot. And Petulia's always saying, "Oh no, I didn't. No, you didn't have to get your pudding. So isn't that better for you?" Like she's like being rude and answering back. So that's what we got to so far. So let's carry on. So in the time you managed to release all the lacrosse balls from the games cupboard, Miss Heft, your poor PE teacher, wobbled over them and was carried off down the pitch on a sea of them. "I do hope they eventually find her," remarked Petulia. "I do," bellowed the headmistress. Bounce, squeak, bounce, squeak, bounce, squeak. Miss Prig couldn't take it a moment longer. "Will you be still?" she ordered. "Sorry, miss," muttered the girl. For a moment Petulia was still, but the moment soon passed. There was a wobble, then a wibble, ending up in a huge wobble. The girl performed a dive roll onto the floor before finishing her acrobatics display with a handstand. "Now, Miss Perpetual-Motion," purred Miss Prig, with a new hint of menace in her voice, "I need the trip to Pork Lane Museum to pass without incident or Modesty Palace, founded 1,000 years ago by a nun, no less, could become a laughing stock." "Of course, miss," said the now upside-down girl, who was scuttling about the headmistress' office on her hands like a performing poodle. "So I have ordered Modesty Palace's science teacher, Professor Bink, to come up with the contraptions to stop you causing any damage to the priceless antiques." Miss Petula Perpetual-Motion did not like the sound of this at all. "I'll be fine without it, thank you, miss," she said. The girl's legs were now doing scissor kicks. As she spoke, her legs sent a pile of school reports flying up the headmistress' desks. They looked like a flock of seagulls taking flight. "No, you will not," barked the headmistress. "What is the contraption, miss?" "Oh, you'll see," said Miss Prig ominously, desperately trying to pluck the sheets of paper from the air. "Now, get out!" With that, Petulia cartwheeled out of the study, booting the newly polished trophies to the floor. As she went, crash, bang, wallop. The day of the school trip arrived, and Professor Blink proudly wheeled her invention out of the science block and into the playground. "There we are, headmistress," said the lady, still sporting her white lab coat and safety goggles, "just as you asked." "It's marvellous, Professor," replied Miss Prig. It looked like a giant toy for a hamster. The science teacher had created huge round see-through inflatable balls, large enough for someone to be placed inside. Of course, that someone was Miss Petula Perpetual-Motion. I'm proud to finally unveil my invention," announced Professor. "I've named it the Bouncing Boom Boom Ball. It is destined to stop jiggling children all over the world from destroying everything in their paths." "Keep it brief," ordered the headmistress, who only liked the sound of her own voice. Yes, headmistress," replied the science teacher hurriedly. "It's very simple. The child who cannot stay still is stuffed in there," she began, indicating the small hatch in the ball. "Then, when the child does fidget, the bouncing boom ball will simply bounce off any precious objects near by, causing zero damage. At least that was the idea." "Splendid," said the headmistress. "You may go." It was a long coach ride to Pork Lane Museum. Despite the driver's protestations, the headmistress insisted that Petulia travelled in the boot so she couldn't cause any damage. As soon as they arrived, the headmistress stuffed Miss Petula Perpetual-Motion into the bouncing boom boom ball. Then she led her party of schoolgirls into the museum, as Petulia bounced along, bringing up the rear. Despite her initial reluctance, once inside the bouncing boom ball, the girl began to enjoy it. A smile spread across her face. The museum was a treasure trove of things: pork lane dogs, pork lane cats, pork lane plates, pork lane vases, pork lane teapots, pork lane candlestick holders, pork lane. Every single object was an antique and worth a fortune. Now, girls, needless to say, there's absolutely no touching of any items on display, announced the headmistress. I know most of you mamas and papas are filthy rich since they send you to Modesty Palace, which I'm glad to say is the most expensive school in the country. However, if you do touch anything and cause it to break, you will have to pay for it yourselves, every last penny. Does your beloved headmistress make herself clear? The pupils murmured. I said, does your beloved headmistress make herself clear? Yes, miss, replied the girls, now gathered round. The girls huddled round a plinth. On it sat a large bowl with hundreds of tiny flowers, hand-painted round the outside. Petulia bounced up and down in her giant ball to try and get a better look. Miss Prig raised her half-moon spectacles to her eye. This bowl was made in Paris. It once belonged to the last Queen of France, Mary Antoinette, and dates back to the 18th century. Suddenly, in her eagerness to see, Miss Petula Perpetual-Motion bounced so hard that the bouncing boom ball hit the ceiling. From there it rebounded, gathered speed at the alarming rate. Now it was going wham, up and down, and down, shaking the room. And bounce, 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 boom, boom, boom. The headmistress gasped in horror. Miss Petula Perpetual-Motion was bouncing dangerously close to the priceless pork lane pieces. That's the end of what I'm reading today. I really enjoyed that. It's so funny. Like, she's got this bouncing ball and she's bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. And now on Friday we will be finishing it off. So join me for Fun Friday. Anyway, bye guys.